I'm so excited for the episode today, and I wanted things to be like a little less formal because I have one of my very best friends, Ivette, here, who just so happened to also be the matron of honor in my wedding. And so I thought it would be more of just like a fun hangout session because we're busy moms, and this is how we hang out these days on Zoom calls.
Yes. And I knew that we were going to do this, and I was like, we need to have a drink because we
Yeah,
just need to relax, enjoy ourselves, and have fun.
seriously. I know. I feel like we actually need to like just start scheduling these because it's just so hard to get together with everyone's schedules and the kids. It's just like right now, all our kids, I should say, are in bed because that's just like perfect time to just unwind
Exactly.
a little bit.
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
what are you drinking today, Yvette? Tonight?
Margarita. It's my go-to. Can never go wrong with
You make
tequila.
a good margarita. I know, and now I'm like, that
Thanks.
sounds so good. I'm drinking some wine. This is not
Mm.
sponsored, but a brand sent me this. It's called Grazie Wines, and it's really delicious. It's a
What
rosé.
kind of wine is it?
It's a
Oh,
rosé.
rosé.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like a
Mm.
no sugar added, but it's a boxed wine. I don't know. That really sounds like it's sponsored. I swear to God, it's not sponsored. But anyways, cheers. Cheers to hanging out.
Cheers.
All right,
This,
let's get
this,
into it.
this virtual hangout reminds me of our COVID hangouts.
Oh my gosh. It's so funny you said that because I was just looking at pictures because I was like, oh, I want to do a little post that I'm going to have you on the podcast. And I was like, oh my gosh, 2020, we had like weekly virtual like game nights.
Yeah.
It like changed everything.
I know. Thank God that you like would set that up with not just us, but other people, because I was just going stir crazy.
Oh my gosh, same. It was mostly Zach. He'd be like, we need to like call people. And then once
Mhm.
that started, we'd be like, yeah, let's get this going. So I feel like we
Yeah.
would call you guys, we'd call my cousin in Texas. We had like a little group going, and it was so great to connect with people because it was like we couldn't
Yeah.
go anywhere.
I
And
remember the time like Zach's sister was on too, and we were all just hanging out. And
yeah,
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 good, good times.
yeah, we needed that. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you said that. Brings me back. Someone posted something about 2020 today, and they're like, isn't that crazy to think that was half a decade ago? And I was like, no.
That's wild.
I feel like so much has happened since then, but at the same time, that feels like yesterday.
Yeah, same, but also so many lifetimes ago. You're right.
Yeah, I feel like that's just how life goes now. All right, before we get too far into it, can you just tell everyone a little bit about you and like what you do? You're like, oh my gosh, pressure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's so much to know, but just
Okay. So for those of you that don't know me, uh, I'm joking. For Chris's wedding, I was like, that was how I started my speech. I said, I asked my husband for all this advice on how to start my speech. And he's like, whatever you do, don't start it with, for those of you that don't know me. And so I did that. But yeah, I mean, I met Krista through my husband, who's actually her husband's best friend. And he was a best man in their wedding. And then Zach was a best man in our wedding. But yeah, I'm currently a mom of two. I'm a grad student about to graduate in 8 weeks. Woo! And yeah, I think I'm a really like authentic real person. I like to be vulnerable and get to know people. And so I'm not really good with surface level conversations. I like to like get deep and get to know people. So
yeah.
yeah.
You are that person that like I feel like that's when we like started connecting is when we're like, oh, we love these one-on-one conversations. We would just get lost in conversations. Like it didn't matter what was going on around us.
Yeah.
It literally went from us knowing each other to very service level knowing each other to like in distance, we'd be like, oh, okay, hi, Yvette, hi, Krista. And then all of a sudden we're like, bam. And we'd be texting all the time. When we see each other, we'd be like these deep conversations. And then it was just the rest is
I
history.
felt like you were my partner in crime for like a good amount of time before the babies came, like for sure.
Yes.
And like, yeah.
I feel like those last few years before COVID, and then like obviously doing our virtual calls a lot during 2020, those years really like brought us together, I feel like. And now, like we were just saying, now it's been years. I mean, because I probably first met you when Zach and I first got together, which was 11 years ago now, which is crazy. Or going on 11, going on 12, I don't know.
I still remember the day that I met you. I will always remember the day that I met you, which is so weird because I tell people that I'm like, isn't it so crazy? I think I've told you this before. Like, it's crazy to think that you always remember like the important people in your life. I remember meeting you. I remember meeting Matt. I remember meeting like some of my other best friends and like anyone else. I don't really remember, but I remember like what people were wearing. And so, yeah, crazy.
Yeah, those vivid moments that stick in your mind. Yeah, no, it's funny. I don't know. I feel like the same way. And I was just looking back at like wedding photos too, when I was like picking out stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh, even that, like for my wedding, like feels so long ago. And yeah, just all the craziness since then.
Yeah.
Okay, before I get too like blabby, because wine makes me chat a lot, so I'm gonna
I'm gonna
slow.
keep going and then have this. Not gonna lie, I may have had like a tiny little shot of tequila before.
Hey, girl, this is Moms After Dark. I mean, I know when this episode comes out, it'll come out in the morning, but if you're listening and you don't listen to it till later, have a glass of wine with us, have a margarita with us, your drink of choice, a coffee, what have you. Just we're gonna like let loose and hang out a little bit. So let's get into crazy stories and some wedding hot takes, but I kind of want to switch it up a little bit. Talking about your own wedding. I know, not like saying, oh, throw people under the bus. No, I'm not saying that. Talking about your own wedding. What was like the planning experience for you? I know you were really stressed during your wedding planning, and that was like a lot you talked about, like having a lot on your plate at that time. What's something unforgettable about your own wedding experience that you kind of just like held on to?
Like good, you were saying?
I know I brought up like the stress, but like, yeah, what was your planning like? And then looking back, your like memories that you held on to about it.
So, yeah, I think planning was really stressful because I really wanted to like stick to my values and be like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I like. But also, like, more importantly, I wanted to build a foundation for my marriage. And I wanted the people that I feel like helped change my life for the better or were like really important into like my pivotal story of like, this is who Yvette was, this is who I am now. I am like proud to be this person, this woman entering into marriage. And I want those people to like stand beside me, not just to come to my wedding, but to be like, listen, I support you through any season in your marriage, right? That's like super important to me. And so I think I was stressed out because so many of those people don't live in our state. They live in other countries. They live in the US, but maybe they live on the West Coast, right? Or even East Coast. So for me, it was really stressful to get everyone together at the same time and make sure that they were like taken care of and like I could take care of them the way that they've taken care of me. So I think that was really stressful. And then of course, you remember like we had our apartment in Chicago and I think there was like 11 people staying at our place. We had a
Mhm.
one bedroom apartment in Chicago and it was like body after body after body, like just anyone sleep anywhere, like during our wedding season. So that was intense.
That's like the epitome of Yvette. I remember specifically there was like one moment in all the craziness where it was just you and me, like in your apartment, and you were like really worried about like pleasing everyone around you. And I was like, just take a breather. It's your wedding. You should enjoy it. And you're like, but Krista, there's people from everywhere. And we like had a moment. I was just like, like, it's okay. But you were like, you were hosting so many people. When you say it that way too, it's like people are flying from another country or from other side of the country. And so you put like a lot of pressure on yourself. It's like very normal.
Yeah. And then I think like the biggest takeaway is like I am bilingual. I speak Spanish and English. And I wanted every single person at my wedding to feel like seen and like understand like, oh, this is a part of me. Like, so just being like very true and then very true to myself. And then also it's so sweet when you get to have like, I'm sure you remember your wedding, every single person that has ever like meant anything to you. That's the sweetest thing in the world. And so I think that's just like the biggest takeaway. I'm like, can we like renew our vows just so that our favorite people are together again? Because that's so special.
Yeah.
So,
One of my favorite things about your wedding as a guest was all the like cultural and traditional things you kind of like brought in together and just made it your own. There were certain things that you guys did that I'd never seen at weddings before, which I was like, this is so fun. This is so cool. Can you explain some of the like things that you guys did at your wedding? Like there was like the bridge thing, right?
oh yeah. So there's just like Mexican traditions that we wanted to incorporate into our wedding. It's just been passed down through generations. I don't know what they mean. I was just like, oh, I've seen this done time after time. And I don't know what the meaning is, but it's important to like follow those traditions and be true to my roots kind of thing. And
Yeah.
so,
No, I love that. That was like one thing I couldn't stop talking about. It was so like beautiful and unique to like you and your story. And I thought that was just like, that was really cool.
yeah, you're talking about it's called La Vibra de la Mar, which is everyone lines up and holds hands, and you like, the groom is standing either like on a chair or being held by his groomsmen, and then the bride's on the other side, and then he's like holding up her veil. And everyone's running through the guests, like holding hands, like really, really fast. And then there's like the music speeds up. You keep running faster and faster. And people are like tripping or losing their shoes or like falling over everywhere. And so yeah, it's a really fun tradition that we do. And there's a couple dances that we do as well, like country style dances that we do, line dances. And so, yeah.
Yeah, that's
those-
awesome. I love that. All right, let's get into some hot takes. So these are opinions, some very strong that people send me on Instagram. We're just gonna react to them together and just give me your first reactions. Okay, first one is all weddings should be unplugged.
Oh, okay. This is hard. Okay. I
Oh,
agree. I
okay.
agree. But being a mom, I'm like, oh, that's hard. Have your phone for like emergencies, but I don't need people like taking pictures or recording because like I paid for a photographer and a videographer and I want you to like enjoy the moment, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I don't see unplugged as like we're gonna have you turn in your phone and lock it in a box. I've heard of like very extreme, places doing that. But
Mhm.
yeah, like turn your phone off and make sure you know how to turn it on silent or like have vibrate because I can't tell you the number of weddings I've been to where there's signs literally and people announce it and you still see people with their iPad or their phone. And I'm like, no, don't do it.
Yeah, that's the worst. I do hate that. Yeah, be present. I'm all about being present.
Yes, yeah.
Vulnerable.
And chances are, as good as the iPhone photos are, the photographer's still going to be 10 times better. Okay, next one says, if you are going to have a cash bar, just don't even have one.
Oh, like the gas pay? No, 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 no. No, they're your guests. This is like your event. It's not like you're doing like, I don't know, a backyard barbecue. No, I feel like you should pay for the guest or something. Like
Yeah,
you should.
so this person's saying that if you're planning on having a cash bar, you might as well just not even have one because I think they're agreeing like you should have a bar, like open bar.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I was just telling a story, so sorry if, to people listening if I just told this on a podcast episode or if it's coming out soon. But I was at a wedding once where it was open until 8 p.m., but they didn't tell anyone. They switched it. So I remember
Oh,
Zach and I going up to the bar and he ordered drinks and the lady was like $10 or $15 and he's like, "Oh, I thought it was open." And they're like, "Oh, it switched to cash at 8." And they didn't announce it or anything. And
wait
yeah,
a
so
minute. Was I at this wedding with you? Because I feel like I've been to this too, like to a
I
wedding.
don't think so. So when Zach and I first started dating years ago.
Oh, okay. Those poor people listening are like, oops.
No, they wouldn't be listening.
Okay. I feel like I've been to a wedding like that too, but I feel like I knew that was going to happen. They're like, okay, open bars closed. Now it's like,
Yeah. My thing is too, it's like there's different levels for what you can afford, obviously, right? And so I've been to all kinds where there's like, I don't think I've ever been to a 100% cash bar. I think I've been to like ones that are just wine and beer, and I think that's great. If only in your budget you can fit wine and beer and seltzers or like some kind of pop drinks or whatever, non-alcoholic, I think that's great. I do think there should be some kind of beverage that's offered. That's, yeah, I don't know. I get, and there's also different levels of like how formal someone wants their wedding. I get it. Sometimes that's the vibe, but yeah, I'm all for. I knew I wanted that was like something in my budget. I want an open bar.
Yeah, if you're like getting married at the Drake in downtown Chicago and you're like having people pay for their drinks, that's a problem. But like if you're more conservative and like not as wild with your money, then it makes sense. Like, okay, we're gonna just have the basic stuff. And that I totally agree with. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this last one says some bridesmaids are only chosen for their talents or aesthetic. Is this a say it or drink?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't choose bridesmaids because of this, but I have friends who I feel like may have been chosen for this reason. And it's like they have the skills, the equipment, that kind of thing. So,
Yeah. I feel like I'd be really careful what I say sometimes. There have been times I've felt in the past where I was chosen because of like, I'm very crafty. I'm a crafty girl. I love my crafts. You give me a project, I won't ever do like a C- job. I will do that A+ job. I will give extra effort. And so there's been a time or two that I was a bridesmaid that I was like, should I have been a bridesmaid? I don't know. And it all was great. It was great. But I think just sometimes you have to really think about down the line or even at that time who you want by your side, not for what they can offer you, but like your relationship to them. I feel like it's complicated because everyone looks at it differently, but I don't know. I've also heard of people, and this is not anyone I know personally, just through stories that people have sent me. It's just like they'll be asked to be in a wedding and they're kind of like, they kind of ask themselves, like, why am I part of this? Like, you don't even try to be my friend outside of the wedding planning. So I've seen that happen a lot where they're like more questioning, like, do you just want someone by your side? Whereas
I've
a
actually had that
private
happen
relationship.
to me before. Yeah, where it was clear that they were meant to be in the wedding. And this person asked me to be in the wedding. And it was like, are you sure? Like, we were both kind of like, why would she ask? It was just really strange. And, of course I said yes. But yeah, it just didn't fit well. And then, of course, our friendship isn't a thing anymore. So, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that's interesting how that works with like it's almost like a
It's
precursor maybe.
He has 10 people. I have 8 friends. I need 2 more people.
I need to
You
add
know what I mean?
somebody. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally see that. Yeah,
It's a
that's
bit,
interesting how that works when you kind of look back and you're like, okay, maybe that's why. I will say majority of the times that I was a bridesmaid, it was like I kind of had expected it. That being said, if you were asked today, I feel like most of your friends are married or committed. Do you feel like at this point you would be in any other weddings? Or if someone were to ask you, do you feel like you're better at saying no if it wasn't the right fit?
I think, okay, so I have a few friends and family members who are still going to get married. And I know, like, for a fact that I would say yes. I would have to find like a really good excuse for someone who is like a little bit more than a friend kind of thing, because that's just who I am. It's like, I've always told people, like, if you mean something, if we've had like a relationship in my life, I will never forget you. Like, I will have your back. You can call me 10 years later if we've lost touch, that kind of thing.
Mm.
So I'm just a sucker that way. So I want to say, like, because I'm a mom and I'm busy now and work stuff, it would be easier for me to say no. And at the same time, I am a people pleaser a little bit, which I'm working on.
I
So
had to like beg you to like say no to me even like when you were like doing stuff for my wedding. I remember you had so much going on, just different things that would come up. And I'd be like, Yvette, it's okay if you can't come to the bachelorette party. It's okay if you can't do this. You're like,
I miss
I'm
that.
going to be there. And I was like, okay, but like I just want you to know the pressure's not coming from me.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. But I know it's hard because there are people like that and you put an expectation on yourself. I'm the exact same way when I'm a part of the wedding. Okay. I warned you before we got on, but I have a story for this week and it's a little long. So I want to jump right in as if we haven't been chatting for like, I don't even know what time we got on. 20 minutes? I don't know. So feel free to stop me at any point. This week's story submission says, phew, this may be petty, but this story needs to be told. My sister-in-law, let's call her Lizzie, was a narcissistic nightmare of a bride, and she and my brother don't speak to my family anymore because of her insane wedding drama. Not exaggerating, they have now not spoken to me in over 2 years and claim to have cut me out of their lives fully and forever with no explanation. I'm sure you'll think I'm the crazy one because of that, but hear me out. Let me first say I will not think you're the crazy one because especially after receiving all these stories, there are three sides to every story. And I'm sure you know this in your line of work. Like, you can only hear so much and just absorb what you're being told, right? I mean, I don't want to read into things, but yeah.
I'm also such like a devil's advocate though. So I'm always like, well, what about this or what about that? I'm like, yeah, sorry to whoever said this, but
Yeah.
yes, I'm here to listen.
I mean, I agree with you though, too. I feel like when I first started sharing stories, people would
Mhm.
get like, I shouldn't say people. For the most part, people like the stories, but every once in a while I'd be like, you only talk about mother-in-laws. How about you talk about mother of the bride? And I was like, well, fun fact, a mother-in-law could be of the bride or the groom, but okay. And they were just getting offended. And I was like, well, I try to say stories about all kinds of people related to the story. Most of the stories I get just happen to be from brides. So now I try to look at it a lens of like, okay, what are the other details I'm getting? Because sometimes I read a story, I'm like, oh, that not the best, not the best
Yeah.
way of looking, but okay. She says, I'm the oldest of three siblings. My sister Cassie is in the middle. These are all fake names. My brother Max is the youngest. My brother Max and his now wife Lizzie started dating in college. They're young, in their mid 20s at this point, and started talking about getting married in 2020 and planning their wedding before they got engaged, which I thought was a bit weird, but whatever. No harm, no foul
Mhm.
until my sister Cassie fell in love with her now husband, oh, Alex, the same year, 2020. My sister Cassie and her man Alex are in their mid 30s. So they're older and ready to start their lives together, buy a house, and start a family. They get engaged in the spring of 2021 and tell our whole family they're planning to get married in a year, March 2022. Yay, we're so excited for them. Or so I thought. Okay. The next thing I know, I get a call from my younger brother, Max, who is not engaged to Lizzie at this point. They're still just dating, but he's upset. He tells me Lizzie has been inconsolable, crying and depressed in bed for 3 days. Because my sister got engaged first.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Mm, this is hard. This is hard. That sucks. Sorry. Like, why would
Why?
that mean anything to you? Like,
Yes.
you should be happy. You should be happy for them. Like, that is a really big red flag if you're like, I didn't get engaged first. What about me? Like, I've paid my time. No, these people are happy. They're older. You don't know if they want to have kids, right? Like, you don't know what their plan is. Maybe they're more like financially established. You don't really know. So I feel like if you're looking forward to like get married and be a part of someone's family, you should be happy when they reach their milestones too. And when the siblings get engaged, like,
Mhm.
why would you make it about yourself?
I
That's
know. It's
problematic.
especially because they're not even engaged at this point.
Mhm.
Like, and even if they were, like, awesome, we're engaged at the same time. Like, I don't get the competitive back and forth. That was a similar story I just shared about a girl demanded to be engaged before her. They were dating brothers, demanded
Mhm.
to be engaged before her. And this was like a true story someone sent me. And it's just like, I just don't get that.
Yeah, my sister-in-law and her husband now, they had been dating forever. You actually went to high school with them. But my husband and I, Matt, we actually got engaged before them. And she asked me, like, is it okay if we get married, whatever date, which was before our wedding? And I was like, yeah, of course. I really don't care. Like, I'm happy for you. What can I do to help you? And it
Mhm.
was so fun to like be in the process together and be like, oh, look at your ring, look at my ring. And what are you doing with this? And oh, I might bounce that idea off of you. And oh, that's good for you, but I don't like that style. And it was so fun to be a part of each other's wedding. So,
Yeah. That's what
yeah.
people I don't get because it's like then you have a fun unit of your family's growing. Like now you have a sister and you have someone you can call up and it's the same with when a mother-in-law gets angry or brother-in-law, whatever. It's like you're just causing more of a barrier. Like wouldn't you want I guess people that think like that don't think down the line like we're not going to get along. I don't know.
Right. Oh, yeah. So I can really play devil's advocate here.
Oh. Yeah. But the girl that wrote this in
Mhm.
is on their side.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, and took their wedding year, she said. Yes, reader, took their wedding year. I'm
Mhm.
like, hang on, Max. What do you mean took your wedding year? You're not even engaged yet. He says, well, we wanted to get married in 2022, and now Cassie's going to steal our thunder because she's getting married before us. I'm
No.
like, but you're not even engaged yet, Max. I had like two of my really good friends, two of my best friends get married the same year as me. And I was like, that's so fun because I'm thinking like 10, 20 years down the line, we're the same anniversary year. Like, let's go on an anniversary trip. Like, that's the way I think.
Yeah. And you're like going through all the seasons together. Like it just makes it so much more fun, like a big party. I
Like, when
don't
I
know.
hear of two people getting mad too about like pregnancies and stuff, and I'm like, I love that, like,
That's
yeah,
a
like,
that's a thing.
that is a thing. I got a story where a girl was kicked out of the wedding because she announced her pregnancy, and they were like, "I don't want you announcing stuff." Well, I'm engaged. People are insane.
Oh my
And they
goodness.
thought the pregnancy would take away too much attention from the bride. I was like, if you really care about those people, you would be celebrating them. You'd be like, how can I make the day better for you because you're pregnant at my wedding?
Yeah. I was pregnant at your wedding.
Yeah. I was like, I had two pregnant bridesmaids and I thought it was so fun. And it's so fun to look back at pictures and be like, oh, like, I don't know, just looking back at those memories. Like,
Yeah.
and then we get to like go through this chapter together with our kids.
Mhm. Imagine me being kicked out of the wedding because I was pregnant.
I'm like, I like what?
Yeah,
That
no.
needs to be like researched in a deep, I don't know, laboratory somewhere. People that think that way.
I'll be like part of my next psych research.
Yes. Very niche. I know she says, I'm like, but you're not even engaged yet, Max. You haven't proposed. You can't expect our sister, who's older than you, to put her life on hold because you guys called the wedding year 2022. It's not like calling shotgun. He's super hurt by me saying this and said it's important that you understand our hurt over this. I'll be honest, I did not mince words, and maybe that was a mistake, but I said, I love you, but this is crazy. You're an adult. Please be happy for our sister and stop making this about you. I mean, I think that's pretty nice.
Yeah. And I'm honestly so shocked that this guy bought into his girlfriend's whatever she has going on, like in her mind, this game that she's playing. For you to sit there and be like, no, my girlfriend's right, who you've been dating for, I don't know, a couple years and you've known your sister your whole life. It's like, Really? Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's just like a big red flag for me. Nope.
Yeah, you wonder what manipulation's going on behind the scenes. What's
Absolutely. Some gaslighting there for sure.
Yes, like, oh, your family is terrible. I'm no expert. I don't know this stuff. Just from like seeing stories, I'm like, if a person you're dating is pulling you away from your family instead of celebrating them, that's a red flag. That's kind of like textbook, isn't that? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not good.
When you and Lizzie get engaged and married, we will be just as excited for you, she says. For the next 4 months, my brother Max and his still girlfriend, Lizzie, proceed to have lengthy talks with my parents and us about how hurt they are about my sister's engagement. Oh my gosh, and wedding planning. They say they do not feel cared for or validated in their pain.
Oh
Cue
my
gagging noises, she says.
God. Oh, it's terrible.
And I hate to be like, oh, she said they're 20s and then the older sister's 30. So I don't know like if that means 23, 24, but
Mhm.
they sound very like they need to live a little life. But I
Hmm.
mean, someone in their 40s could act like that. So I don't really want to play the age game, but it just sounds very odd to just not all of a sudden not be happy for your sister because you're supposed to get engaged first.
Yeah, absolutely. And then still not being engaged and still complaining about it. Like, it's my wedding year, but you're not even engaged still. That makes no sense.
Right.
Absolutely no.
Okay, I'm going to read into it before we read a little bit further, but it's almost like the brother doesn't actually want to get engaged. The younger brother, right? So instead of like the pressure being put on him, he's gonna turn it on his family and be like, "Oh, can you believe that? Well, now they're taking your thunder, so I can't."
You
Because
think
don't you think if this happened and he really wanted to get engaged and married first, he would just propose,
Yeah, he would have proposed like right away.
right? And then
And then
set a wedding date before
and
that.
then like beat them to the yeah, I was just gonna say that. And then like beat them to the wedding date. Like
Instead,
for
they're just over here crying about it and
yes.
not doing anything.
So he's kind of a coward too.
I think it's him kind of pushing his feet in the sand or whatever the phrase is.
He knows. It's not that he's being a coward. He's like, I know the red flags. And this is just giving me time.
Yes, let's direct it toward the anger towards my family and not me.
Yes.
That's just the vibe I'm getting. Craving more wedding drama? Join my wedding party Patreon for Here Comes the Drama After Dark. Each month, we dive into juicy confessions, wedding 911 advice, and the spiciest hot takes. And of course, we always end with a wild wedding story reacting in real time. From bridesmaids to groomsmen, mother in law madness to photographer fails, every month has a new theme. Patreon members get early access to all regular episodes and an exclusive chat to discuss the drama. Don't just hear the drama, be a part of it. Join now. My brother Max finally proposes to Lizzie in the fall of 2021, and they start planning their wedding for September 2022, 6 months after my sister's wedding will take place. Okay, for a while, everything is copacetic. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And then Lizzie starts sending lengthy wedding planning emails that are insane. She starts off with me and my sisters as bridesmaids. After that, I would not want to be her bridesmaid. Talking about, I don't know. I
Mm-mm.
guess it's hard because it's like you want to just like move forward and you're probably your baby brother. So you're like, let's just make things work. But you know things are going to be not
Mhm.
great.
Mhm.
But pretty quickly demotes us to special guests.
Oh my gosh, no.
That might be the kindest thing she's ever done for me, she says. She wants us to attend a bachelorette weekend, a wedding shower, an engagement party weekend, and the wedding. All separate weekends and all flying out. That's a
Oh,
lot.
that's terrible.
That is,
Yes, for her to first be like, yeah, I want you to be a bridesmaid. Where in your timeline of being a part of this family do you see that being a good thing? Do you see them saying yes? I would have been like, no, no.
Mhm.
And then to be demoted, like to demote them, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Like, how do you even have that
Yeah.
conversation with them?
You're a special guest now. So you just get like a badge or something. Like, what does that mean? But yet she still wants them to
Um,
attend four different things and fly out for all of them.
Still come, still pay for everything, still make me the center of attention.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And she's probably that kind of bride. Even if you have like a white speck on your dress, she's like, change. Don't have
Oh,
any
100%.
white anywhere near you.
Can't have white shoes. No way. You can't. I don't even know if your dress is poofier than hers, you're out.
You're
Like
out.
you're out.
I
You're
was just
out.
telling someone how my cousin Jasmine, how when we were out at the bachelorette party, she had a shirt that had like white flowers on it. And she was like, I won't wear it. I'm so sorry. And I was like, Jasmine, you can wear that. You could literally put
I
a
was
white shirt
there.
on right
I
now.
was
I wouldn't care.
there.
What?
Yes. was there.
I know. I didn't know if you were like during that conversation, but I was just
Oh
like,
yeah. Yeah. I think we were all like looking at ourselves in the mirror. And then she like noticed it. And then that's when you guys had the
oh,
conversation.
that's, yeah. And I was
Right
like,
before we were leaving.
I don't care.
You could tell her like her whole outfit could be white and it would be fine.
Yeah. I was like, I would have been like, yeah, we're both the brides. I literally don't care. I'm just happy everyone's here. And I'm like, and I'm someone too where it's like, to multiple people, I was like, don't feel like you have to come to everything or any of it. Obviously, like the wedding's the most important. So if you can't make it to a shower or bachelorette, I'm fine. Two or three people couldn't come to the bachelorette. And I was like, that's totally fine. People that were in the wedding. And it was like, we moved on. We did our own thing. It was all good. Like
Yeah.
to put pressure, that's the thing is everyone's different, but like to put pressure on people, like you have to come, spend all this money, and that's where people get stressed out. And I'm like, I'm more excited about people just being by my side at the wedding.
Right.
That was the biggest thing for me. She says, okay, I'm like, girl, again, I love you, but I don't have the money to fly out for four separate events. I can come to two of these. Plus, my sister's getting married too, so I've got her bachelorette and wedding, remember? Which kind of would take precedence, I would think. Yikes, shouldn't have mentioned that. We immediately start getting lectured. Lizzie tells us, we told everyone that your sister's wedding would steal our thunder, and look, see, we can't have the wedding we want because of your sister's wedding. But
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
either way, you are asking people to fly out to four events. Like, that is insane.
Yeah, and then I just can't believe that she's like, see, it's taking away from my wedding. Like, get over yourself. I'm over this girl. I'm over her. I'm
Yeah.
over her.
It's so like, this is why there's the name Bridezilla because of this bride. And I hate that because, like, so many times it's like a nice bride that just has a boundary. And it's like, okay, no, she's not a Bridezilla. But this is like, no, everyone bow down to me. It's my year. I own the whole year. And it's like, no, that's not how it works.
Mm-mm. No, I'm out. I don't like her.
Yeah. And also to like be in the mind of the bride who's already having issues, with everything. Why would you want the sisters to be at your bachelorette party if you don't like them so much?
100%. Yes, that perspective. Perfect. Yeah. It's like if they're doing you a favor by getting married around the same time. It's like, thank you. Yes, perfect.
Yeah. So you can be with your friends, and I don't get it. Okay, it says Lizzie and Max continue to rag us about this, including the week of my sister's wedding, with long, ridiculous emails about how they feel abandoned by the family because not everyone can attend every single one of their expensive destination events. I wish I was joking, and I wish I could copy verbatim the email they sent to my immediate family 5 days before my sister got married about their hurt feelings. Also, not to mention, they're getting married 6 months after the other sister. That's plenty of time to then focus on them, right?
Mhm.
It's not like they're getting married the week after.
You could literally start sending save the dates right after the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it shouldn't even overlap at all.
No, that's plenty of time away from each other. Can you imagine demanding someone to pay attention to the whole year? This is my year. Nothing else can happen.
Yeah, I don't have friends like that, thank God. I don't think I could be friends with someone like that. No.
No, no. It makes me wonder, I mean, how maybe she only has the sisters because she doesn't have friends.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
That's rough. She said they even requested that my sister not speak about her wedding at any of their wedding events. I feel the need to insert here that my sister Cassie is very down to earth, unfussy, lovely, and intelligent college professor. She is not a diva. She never makes things about herself or makes herself the center of attention. So the fact that they even felt upstaged by her is truly a masterclass in security. This girl should be a writer. I love this like imagery.
Absolutely. I was gonna say that. She's so insecure.
Hmm. I think it's probably too, it's like the fact, like the way she just described her older sister, the younger girlfriend, or now fiance, sounds very intimidated almost. Like, oh, they've got their stuff together. She's intelligent. But it's like, maybe you can just look up to her. Maybe pick apart a couple like things that you want to like take
From
on.
her.
Yes. I don't get that. She says, anyways, my sister Cassie and her lovely husband Alex have a beautiful, heartfelt, budget-friendly wedding in March of 2022. Family and friends attend. Our Midwest cousins who all have kids are able to attend because the wedding is driving distance for them, and my sister thoughtfully planned it over their kids' school break. My brother Max and Lizzie sleep late, miss their first flight, so they don't even make it in time for the rehearsal dinner. Weird how that happened. Something I now wonder about. Did they really sleep through their alarms, or was it just a stunt to pull the focus? Probably.
He like wakes up, like changes the alarm, like on the phone.
Yes.
Then.
Oh my
Oh, I have
gosh.
no idea.
They probably like purposely planned a later flight or something.
100%. I think she did it. I don't think the brother did it. I think she was like, oh, babe, I looked at the flights. They don't have any more. It's just like, we have to go to the later one.
Hmm. It makes you wonder, like someone that's acting like this and he's so easily manipulated,
Mhm.
where she might make up stories to tell him like, oh, this is what they said to me, this is what they did to me, and just like victim mode. Oh my gosh, this could be like a whole series. After the wedding, my sister and Alex go to their honeymoon to Europe. While in Europe on their honeymoon, Lizzie and Max start texting their complaints and grievances about who is not attending their pre-wedding events to the family group chat again. I text them privately and say, hey, it'd be cool if you let our sister enjoy her honeymoon for a minute. If you have issues, please text the rest of us directly, but leave them out of this. Spoiler alert, they don't. Block. I'd be blocking. I'd be like,
Mhm.
I'm on my honeymoon.
Yeah.
By
I
the
mean,
way, like
phone
on
is
your
not even
honeymoon,
on.
yeah,
Maybe for pictures, but like, I'm not I suck at answering text messages and phone calls. So my honeymoon, it's like Yvette's dead. She's gone.
you were like,
I'm
you
like,
weren't
she's
even thinking about that.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't even remember texting anybody on my honeymoon.
No.
No, I feel like we left our phones in the hotel room because we were at a resort. So I,
Yeah. I think like we actually never went on a honeymoon. We went on a trip, but our trip, that sounds like a Bridezilla thing, a thing
we
a
didn't go
Bridezilla
on a
would
honeymoon. We went on a trip.
say. I think I only use it for pictures. I don't even know if I had service. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I would be blocking. If someone just kept bugging me, I'd be like, I need to be in this oasis away from all that. And good on this, I don't know, whatever the OPs, whoever like sent in this story, good on you. You're being a great like boundary holder for your family. That's a lot of responsibility, but I'm proud of you for like stepping in. Lizzie makes the next 6 months hell for my email inbox. She sends detailed lookbooks and dress code guidelines for her engagement party weekend, micromanaging everyone's travel plans, sending detailed schedules down to the minute for every single pre-wedding event, and giving main character syndrome, I'd say, a whole new meaning. She also continued to complain about how they feel abandoned and unloved by my extended family from the Midwest, who have been invited to their engagement party weekend but cannot attend. I'm sorry, I would not be flying to an engagement party. I just wouldn't.
And also the fact that you are sending dress codes and lookbooks to the engagement party, like it's not
Yeah.
even the wedding.
Yeah. That's a lot for a wedding, but that I can understand a little bit more. But an engagement party, you're going to tell people what to wear, so they have to go out to a store, pay more money. The engagement party weekend is at a small beach resort town. It's expensive to fly to, and the kids all have school. My sister's wedding was over their spring break. I try to explain to my brother and Lizzie, saying, hey, this side of the family has kids. They're not rich, and they genuinely cannot afford to come to the event. It's a multi-day event that would put their kids out of school. You're talking thousands of dollars just in plane tickets, not to mention hotel rooms. You didn't even invite them to your wedding, just invited them to this, and they
Oh, like kids?
can't afford to come.
Like the kids.
Yeah, they invited the parents and kids to the engagement party, but didn't invite the kids to the wedding.
Right.
So she says, don't take it personally. You just really didn't plan this with them in mind. Telling my brother and Lizzie this truth was clearly a mistake. Lizzie sent our whole family a text saying that it was unfortunate that our family didn't support or care about them enough to show up. At this point, I really started to feel ill over the fact that my brother was marrying this girl. It's just a red flag after red flag. I'm beginning to feel like a prop because the other thing I haven't mentioned, she's becoming a wedding content creator during all of this. Oh my God, I want to know who it is.
Oh my gosh, this is bad. We can't share this.
Hey, the girl submitted it, knowing I would maybe share it. She goes, yep, you read that right. She quits her job at a consulting firm to work full time as a content creator and decides that her wedding is the best way to start. We are the props for her perfect Instagram wedding. At this point, I'm hating every minute of her wedding BS, but I'm also trying to keep a relationship intact with my brother because I love him. And I'm also like, blink twice if you need help, you know? Oh,
Oh my gosh. This just put everything into like a whole different perspective. It makes sense. Like
yeah.
everything needs to be extravagant because the pictures need to look perfect because it needs to be filtered so that you get more followers. And I'm not saying every content creator is this way, but this person sounds like this is what they're doing, right?
Yeah, totally.
100%. Terrible.
2 months before the wedding, my plus one is revoked. Lizzie and my brother feel like I've defended my sister too much and taken her side during all the wedding drama. They want to punish me. My plus one is my boyfriend of a year and a half, and we already bought plane tickets. They can't do that. I'd be like, I'm not coming anymore. That
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, behave and you get a plus one. If you don't behave, you take it. That's not how plus ones work. I call my brother and say, hey, we already bought plane tickets and got an Airbnb. It's incredibly cold and rude to disinvite my partner. He said that he and Lizzie now feel as if I'm trying to upstage their wedding by bringing my boyfriend. This cannot be real. And they don't
Mhm.
want me making a big deal about it. Oh my gosh. Okay, at this point, I'm like, F it. I say to my brother, my boyfriend is going to come with me the weekend. If he's not invited to the wedding, that's up to you. You can exclude him. It's in New York City, so he can find something fun to do on his own. My brother
Mm.
says, if you bring him to New York City, I will consider that as an attempt to draw attention from us on our wedding weekend. Oh, come. These people are insane.
I don't like them. I can't. I don't.
I would
I
not be going.
No,
I'm like, you are.
no, you know what? I would go. I would go to New York City. I would do all the fun tourist things. I would maybe like, oh, that's your wedding. Oh, hey. And then just keep going about my stuff. But yeah, no, I would go enjoy New York City. I would not want to be a part of that wedding at all. At all.
I, so you wouldn't go to the wedding? You,
Oh,
no,
I
you
would
go to
just
New
like,
York.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I would go to New York.
Mhm.
Or I'd go to the wedding and like, I'd say this, but I would never do this. I'm like, think of something like petty, like wear the wrong color or something. I wouldn't do that.
For all white.
Walk in a ball gown, ball gown? Yeah, no. I just wouldn't, I can't do confrontation. I wouldn't be there. I say, well, we're not canceling his flight. He wants to spend time with me and our family, so he will come and he'll spend time with us outside of the wedding. You're the one who disinvited him at the last minute in an effort to punish me. 1 month before the wedding, I get an email from Lizzie telling me that she needs me to get my hair and makeup professionally done. She's not a bridesmaid. You can't make someone do that. She tells me what color to paint my nails, what type of shoes I should wear, and what type of jewelry she expects me to wear. I respond by telling her politely and a firm boundary. I say, you've given us the wedding dress code. I will show up looking lovely and appropriately dressed to your big day. You don't need to tell me what type of specific jewelry to wear or how to paint my nails. I prefer to do my own hair and makeup, as I cannot afford to pay a hair and makeup artist of your choosing on top of all the travel expenses. Thank you.
She's not even in. She was demoted. How dare you?
And I'm
Mm-mm.
one for two where, like, even if you are a bridesmaid, give them
Oh,
the option. Like,
you
never,
gave us options. You
yeah,
gave us like this is who's doing the hair, this is who's doing the makeup. If you want to, sure. If you don't, that's fine
yeah. If
too.
you feel more comfortable doing it yourself, that's fine. I don't care.
It's the company, these are the dresses, or this is the color. These are the 10 different styles that they have. Whatever you want on your body, that's what you choose. Like you
Yeah,
did that for us.
yeah,
And this person wants you to do this. It has to be that or you're out. Of what? Of being a guest of honor?
yeah. I don't even know what that means. This is like honestly the craziest story I've ever read. Every week I'm like, oh, this is the craziest I've ever read. I think this is honestly the most insane. All right, we got two little paragraphs left. Well, that was the last I ever heard from her. I went to the wedding with my family and without my partner. The food sucked. The venue was ridiculously expensive. She yelled at guests for accidentally walking into the venue too early while they were taking photos. My brother looked like a hostage. Yeah. My
That's
mom cried during the vows, but not because she was happy. My dad talked to the father of the bride and learned that Lizzie had spent triple of the wedding budget.
so
Yikes. She got all the Instagram footage and TikTok dances and pictures she could ever want in order to launch her career as a wedding content creator. There it is.
Yep.
She cared more about the outer, which I feel like people get caught up in so much, was like they get more into the outer appearance of what everyone's going to think about their wedding, less about your marriage, the future, celebrating with your family and friends.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
One of her best friends and bridesmaids don't even speak anymore. She asked people to pull out their phones during the ceremony and take selfies for social media. She blocked me on Instagram after the wedding because I didn't post about the wedding. And I haven't heard from her or my brother in 2 years. This is going to be sad. My brother used to be my best friend. I'm confused and heartbroken and worried about what his life will be like. Sometimes I peep on their account from my other Instagram where I'm not blocked. I see her keeping up appearances, and to be quite honest, she's building an empire as a wedding content creator.
Oh my gosh.
To her credit, she works her butt off, but I know that every beautiful highlight reel posted to Instagram has its own dark story underneath. That's it.
Imagine you and this girl have partnered up.
She's been on the podcast.
Oh my gosh. That is so sad.
That's really sad. And that's the thing with social media too, is like you never know what is actually going on behind the scenes when people are posting all this aesthetic. I mean, you hear about influencers like renting out jets so it looks like they have a private jet just to
Oh
sit
yeah, I've heard that too. Or like people being accused for that
in.
is a
Hmm.
better way to put it because we don't really
I
know.
guess we
But
don't really know. Right. That's just the whole appearances thing. Because I mean, it's just like, I guess if that's your brand,
yeah, I think in a day where like you can filter everything, you can be like in your basement and make it look like you're at some expensive resort somewhere, right? People really crave authenticity and like realness and talking about like harder stuff. And it's like, that's why I don't even post anymore. It used to be so fun to post on social media, but it's like, I think I've told you this. I've struggled because it's like, why am I posting this highlight of my life when it's not all rainbows and sunshine? Most of my days are like crappy, kind of, or like I'm busy or I'm tired. And yeah, so.
yeah, I know. I totally relate to that because, like, I obviously I post on social, but I don't
Mhm.
post a lot of personal stuff because I feel like, and we talked about this too. It's like if I'm looking for that craving of someone to like applaud my life or to applaud something personally, then I'm lacking somewhere else, or I feel like I need something or some time with myself, or I don't know. It's just like I'm the same because I used to like Facebook days. I used to post all the time in college. Like you'd go out for a night and you'd post all 25 pictures. And then it just got to a point where it's like, who am I posting that for? Like, I love to entertain with content now, but it's like, if I'm just at home or I'm out, I just don't post
Mhm.
about that stuff. I think some people get caught up in this where they like
Yeah.
start seeing people engage and they're like, I have to keep it up. But like, that's stressful. It's also stressful to keep up appearances like that.
I was just gonna say she spent triple the budget and now like there's an expectation of like, oh, this is the kind of like space that you are in. These are the kind of things that you purchase. So like every picture has to either be like that or up it, or it's not entertaining. You know what I mean? But when you're posting like about your work is like the center of attention, that's different, right? And so,
Yeah. I feel like some of my favorite people to follow, like you were saying, they're so authentic. Elise Myers is one that I follow who's so authentic in her story and how she talks and shares. She'll just be like in her room and just talk about her workday. Jen, who's a labor nurse, I cannot think of her last name. It's gonna kill me, but
yes, I
have I
can't
sent
think
her
of
stuff?
this.
She'll be like hair up in a bun and she's like, this is my life right now. I'm like with my chickens. And it's just very like normal stuff. And not like I have chickens, but you know what I mean? Like she doesn't try to put on this facade of like, this is my glamorous life. Everyone's life has aspects that are glamorous or nicer. But yeah, I think it's so easy to get caught up in that and just, I don't know.
Mhm.
I feel really bad for this girl because it sounds like I can't speak for everyone, but I'm sure we all can think of someone that's been in a relationship like that where you're like he or she is like lost because they're so enamored in what's going on with their partner and they've turned away from their family.
And I'm thinking too, like, imagine how hard it is, like when you're in a relationship with someone and you're like, oh, I want to leave or whatever. But then it's like, oh, what is this person going to think? What is this person going to think? But now it's like, it's not just your friends and family, it's like all of your followers, all of your business. Not to say that that's where they're at, because we hope that that's not the case, right?
Right.
But if everything is based off of appearances, it's going to be that much harder to change, walk away, be true to yourself, you know? So,
Hmm.
oof,
Yeah,
that
that
poor
was
girl.
a rough one. That was really, thanks for this girl for sharing it. I feel like it was probably therapeutic for her to type it all out. I hear that a lot from people. They're like, I've held all this in, and so me being able to type it helped me feel better. So I can't imagine though, like just having your brother just not speak to you or
Yeah.
the family because of their partner. So
Even hearing this story though, I feel like she did things the right way. She was
yeah,
very like composed, very mature. And I love the way she spoke about her sister. It was so beautiful. You know what I mean? I feel like her heart is at the right place. So,
100%. Yeah, she did a great job setting the boundary, not letting this girl walk all over them.
right.
And it also goes to show too, there's no pleasing people like this. Because I think a lot of times people think, like, especially as people pleasers, we think like, oh, if I just do this for them, then they'll understand. If I say okay, then they'll be fine. And it's like, no, once you let them tread over you, they'll keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like her with even her boundaries, it was not okay. Because probably she's never been told no before.
Right. Yeah. Good for her.
Yeah.
Good.
You
Did
gotta
well.
give props to her. Well, That was a long story, but thanks for we need to do this more often because it's kind of fun just to like hang out and like have a glass of wine because we never get to do this.
I loved it. Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing this with me. So,
Yeah. So before you go, is there any last parting advice or anything you're working on that you're excited about?
I'm almost done with grad school. I have like
Yay.
8 weeks left, and I'm so excited because this means that we can actually hang out. My schedule is not going to be booked. And maybe the next time, if we do this, it'll be in person, which will be.
Yes. Yes, that was our goal for everyone like listening. That was our goal to do it in person. Then I feel like our schedules got like it was just hard. And also we're like, wait, 3 more weeks have passed. We gotta figure this out. And I record in my closet as of now, and I'm like, how would we do in person? I guess we can go in the living or we gotta find a space. And then I was just
We could fit in that closet and make
we
it
could just
work.
squeeze in here. We probably could.
Yeah,
We've
100%.
sat in weirder places together.
Yes. Yes. It would be fine. Normal.
Yes. All right. Well,
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me.
thank you.